Right guys, hello and welcome back to another Talk Coventry City video. Today we are doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be looking at what teams I reckon will be in the Championship next season. With only 1 week left in the Championship and Premier League of this season, we're going to see who's in what position and who's going to finish where. Now, first things first, let's go over the teams that are definitely going to be in the Championship next season. So we know for sure which three teams have gone up from League One. We've got Coventry City, we have Rotherham United and Wycombe, who went up through the playoffs to be in the Championship for their first time, which is going to be amazing. Coventry and Rotherham have been there before. Coventry's last time was 8 years ago. Rotherham, they were relegated the season before last, so they've bounced straight back. So those three are going to be there from League One. As for coming down from the Premier League, only Norwich has been confirmed so far. Three teams it's between really: Bournemouth, Villa and Watford. Villa play Arsenal on Tuesday, Watford play Man City on Tuesday. They're going to be massive games and it could go to the final day. I'll say what I think about that in just a second. But let's have a look at the Championship. So what teams are definitely going to be in the Championship next season? So going up from Birmingham, if you include that Wigan deduction: Birmingham City, Middlesbrough, Huddersfield Town, Stoke City, Sheffield Wednesday, Reading, QPR, Derby County, Bristol City, Blackburn Rovers, Millwall and Preston North End are all definitely in the Championship next season. So now that leaves the teams that will come down from the Premier League, which I said was between Watford, Villa and Bournemouth, and then you have the teams battling at the top of the Championship and you have the teams battling at the bottom of the Championship. Now, starting off with the Premier League, I think Bournemouth and Aston Villa are going to be relegated alongside Norwich City into the Championship. The reason I think that is because Watford have got more points than them, and it's not in Villa and Bournemouth's hands. I think that they will not close the gap. Bournemouth have got to play Everton away on the final day, but they could even be relegated before then. It's not in their hands. As for Aston Villa, their goal difference is really poor, and they have to play Arsenal and West Ham, which isn't two impossible games to get points from, but because it's not in their hands and because they probably need a result in both games, I think Villa are going down. Watford have to play Manchester City and Arsenal, which are two very tough games, but I think they'll just get through and I think they'll be safe on the final day. So Villa and Bournemouth to come down with Norwich City and be in the Championship next season. Now, looking at the top of the Championship, Leeds United are up. Congratulations, they've gone up as champions as well. Worthy winners and a club that definitely belong in the Premier League, so good job to them. It's actually between West Brom, Brentford and Fulham now for that final automatic spot. It's in West Brom's hands, but they have been pretty poor recently. They haven't won any of their last three games, drawing with Blackburn, Fulham and then losing to Huddersfield Town. But luckily for them, Brentford lost at Stoke the other day, meaning that Brentford have handed it back to West Brom, meaning that West Brom just need to beat QPR on the final day and they will be up. It's not in Brentford's hands, it's not in Fulham's hands. Do I think West Brom will do it against QPR? I do, but I don't feel 100% sure when I say that. I definitely think as well that if West Brom don't pick up the points, that Brentford or Fulham will capitalise. So West Brom do need to win. A draw will not be good enough. As for the playoffs, it would leave Brentford, Fulham, Forest and either Cardiff or Swansea. And actually, no, that's not 100% sure because Forest still need to pick up a point to be safe of getting in the playoffs, because Cardiff and Swansea could still both overtake them. It's a crazy battle on the final day of the Championship, I'll tell you that, with automatic playoffs and relegation all wide open. I think Forest will get that 5th place. I also think Cardiff will seal 6th place. It's in their hands, so I think Swansea will miss out on the playoffs. I then think, I have a feeling that Fulham will win the playoffs. I just think they're the kind of club that would. I think they've done it before. Or either them or Cardiff. Cardiff have shot up in terms of form recently, and I think they could surprise everyone and go on to win. But you never know, it's wide open. Forest obviously have a chance, and West Brom or Brentford, if they fall in there, they've got a chance. But I usually feel that the team that's just missed out on automatics are a bit down by it and don't actually get promoted. So we'll wait and see what happens there. As for relegation, it's going to be a crazy final day with 5 teams all not certain if they're going to be in the Championship or League One next season, especially after Barnsley's last minute winner against Forest on Sunday. It has meant it is wide open. I can't remember the last time the Championship went into the final day with no teams certain of relegation yet. This is crazy. It's wide open. You've got Hull City, you've got Barnsley, you've got Wigan, you've got Luton, you've got Charlton. And it's just wide open. I mean, Wigan Athletic obviously going to be in there because of the minus 12 points, which I'm pretty certain is going to be taken off this season. But they're in very good form. They're actually down there, but with positive goal difference. So that's really bizarre. Charlton and Luton, obviously the 2 teams starting just outside the relegation zone, so they'll know it's in their hands, but it's not going to be easy. I know that they've all got pretty tough games. Barnsley have got to play Brentford, so they're both fighting for a massive prize. I mean, Barnsley fighting for survival, Brentford fighting for automatics. That'll be tasty. I think Hull are playing Cardiff, so Cardiff are battling for the playoffs, so that's a massive game, both fighting for a massive prize. And who else is there? There's another big tasty game. I think Fulham have got Wigan, so that's another one where an automatic chasing team are going up against a relegation struggler. But in terms of my opinion on the 3 clubs getting relegated, I'm going to say Hull City. They've been awful. They're in a really poor position. I think Hull are down. I also think Barnsley, I just can't see them beating Brentford, and even if they do, it might not be enough because it's not in their hands. And I'm going to say, Wigan. And I think it'd be a shame if they go down because of what's actually happened. You know, they got hit with that deduction, but they've still been on such good form that they could have got out of this. But then they conceded a 93rd minute equaliser against Charlton, and that might just relegate them. And the implications could be massive for Wigan Athletic dropping into the 3rd division. So fingers crossed for their fans, because it must be pretty gutting to be a Wigan fan right now. I know what it's like going through bad times. I'm a Coventry fan. I've seen us play away from our ground twice. I've seen us hit by several deductions, but that would just be awful if Wigan got relegated for their fans. But that is what I think. I'm going with Hull, Barnsley, Wigan relegated. I'm going to go with West Brom to sneak up in 2nd place, and Swansea are going to be the team to miss out on the playoffs. And like I said, in terms of the Premier League, I think it'll be Villa and Bournemouth to come down, and that will make it tasty, the Championship next season. Just think of some of the teams that could be locking horns. I mean, there's some big fixtures that could happen next season and some big clubs in the division next season. Let me know down in the comments what you think will happen in the final week of the Premier League and Championship. And just remember, this is my opinion. It's not the right opinion. It's just what I think. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But let's see what happens. I might be right, I might be wrong with some of these predictions. Like and subscribe if you have enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.